the reality is when we stay attached into the known, we are staying attached into the limited experience of that version of ourself. Like you can't be anything more than you are until you let that go. You are listening to the Ultimate Biohack for Women, a movement of women who know what they want and go get it. You know the answers lie within. Reach in and grab hold. This is a movement of women who tune in and turn their selves on. Now you're biohacking the woman's way, integrating the art and science of hacking your biology like a woman. Tap your magic, conjure your yes, upgrade, elevate, maximize your potential. I'm Dr. Brandy Victory, and this is a movement that is sure to hack your soul. Hello, sexy soul sisters. Happy 2020. Yeah. So exciting. This is my first solo cast of the year, and I am just popping out of my skin because I'm so excited to be here. First of all, it's really always exciting to chat with you. I really enjoy these conversations that we have, but just the fact that I'm here is a testimony to the transformation that's happened in my life. And if you've been following along, you know I've been like spirit has, like my reality has been like a Rubik's Cube, and spirit's been like and just turning it and twisting it and turning it and twisting it and up-leveling and getting things aligned in a new way in my whole entire life. And it's been an interesting ride. I am just happy to be here because I think some of that is settling. Well, obviously some of that is settling. Hopefully a lot of that is settling because we can only do that for so long, right? But just the fact that I'm here is like, woo-hoo. So much has happened. I can't wait to share it all with you, you know. This year, 2020, we have a lot of astrological intensity. There's a lot of change happening for everyone. Like the planets are just asking us to show up as our most authentic, truthful, empowered selves, like to take off the mask that we've been wearing and dance with our shadow and heal through that and step into our trueness, our true nature here, the reason why we came here. And so, you know, that brings a lot of change and it pushes people in certain ways. And there's a couple of different types of personalities that I've seen handle this so far. And it's only, of course, we're only like, just over a weekend, but, you know, there's those of us who are like, yes, I am so ready. I've been begging for this. Thank you so much. I'm so glad my time is here. And we just jump on board, and it's crazy and it's scary and it's fun and it's just like everything. It's all the emotions all at once, right? But then there's this other type of personality that's like, but I don't want to take off my mask. I don't even know I'm wearing a mask. My life is fine just the way it is. Why do I need to change anything? What shadow? Who has shadows, and who cares that we have shadows? Why don't we just leave those kinds of things under the rug and leave them alone? And those types of people I am noticing are their buttons are being pushed, and they're having emotional fluctuations with those button pushings. So so some of my patients are like, woohoo, all this beautiful change. I'm so excited. I feel like I've taken off an old coat and I got new clothes and that are more my style, that are fitting awesome, and I feel fabulous in them. And then I've got these others that are like, oh gosh, I feel like my hands are tied behind my back and my ankles are tied together and I don't even know how to walk anymore and I don't even know what I'm doing here. It's because spirit is knocking on your door and he's like, or they're like, hey, by the way, you've got a bigger game to play. By the way, you have so much more to offer in this world than you've been offering, and it's time to step up to that. And so there's a lot of resistance because in order to step into that, we have to step out of what we've been doing, right? And that what we've been doing can be really, really comfortable, even though that many times we're often complaining about the comfortable. It's comfortable, and we know how to do that. We know how to manage it. We know we're surviving there. But I'm telling you, I am not here to survive. I am here to thrive. And I know each and every one of you are here to thrive as well. And so I am sure that you are on that in that first category of people who are like, yes. And you may still feel resistance. I certainly feel resistance. Every day it rises up and I'm like, okay, where is that? What is that coming? Where is that in my body? Where's that coming from? And how can I move this? And what do I want to reestablish my focus on, right? And so today we're going to go through 5 keys to expansion. I'm going to give you like the 5 elements that I do to ensure that I stay on purpose, that I stay on track, that my vision is clear, and that I'm reaching my goals as to become the expanded version of myself that I want to be, so that I can show up in the most powerful way possible, right? So I'm curious, like, what's changing for you? What have you noticed? I mean, we're just, like I said, just over a week in, and what have you noticed arising within your psyche or actually changing for you in your life? Many people are changing jobs, leaving relationships. I have a girlfriend and she's like, I think I'm going to leave my husband. And I'm like, what? I had no idea that was coming, right? So there's like a lot of big change happening. For others, it may not be happening yet, but there may be a whisper in your psyche that's like, hey, it's time. It's time. You know, what's calling you forth? Like what's waking up within you or asking you to show up for, so that you're fulfilling your mission here, right? We're just always being called forth to be in vibrational alignment with our world and our purpose. And it just seems at this very time, this very moment in time, especially we just came through a lunar eclipse for the first eclipse of the year. And we're just like, how do we step into vibrational alignment with our purpose, with our truth, with the world, right? And there's so much negativity in the media and so many crazy things happening in our world with war and famine and, you know, all the things. And it's sometimes difficult to navigate that, like to be in the yes, I am and yes, I can-ness when all this other stuff is happening. And I am going to be the first person to tell you is to put your media away. Like, do not look at it. Do not watch it. I do not follow it. The only reason why I know about this stuff is because someone told me. Somebody's like, hey, did you hear this or that? And I'm like, no. Okay. And then I have to create a little bubble around myself and go, okay, what can I do? I can change what's happening right here in my world, right in myself. I can show up in the most positive way possible. I can help people. I can share love. I can share compassion. I can share empathy. I can help people rise up, and I can do my job, and I can be the best person that I can possibly be. I can't control anything outside of that. So I'm going to just bring myself back to that. I'm just going to bring myself right back to that over and over and over again, right? It's just crazy because we have all this change that's going on, and then we have like something arise, and then we're like, oh, there's this opportunity. Oh, crap. But I'm scared. I'm scared to let go of the known, right? And the reality is when we stay attached into the known, we are staying attached into the limited experience of that version of ourself. Like, you can't be anything more than you are until you let that go. And what that means is sometimes it feels like we're falling through space when we let go of that. But sometimes we don't even know what that means, right? So we have to have a little bit of help. I personally have had a little bit of help recently. I had one of my boss, when I was working for some doctors down below, my boss gave one of my days away to another doctor without even having a talk with me. It was like, the lead doctor told me, he's like, hey, you know what? Dr. Allen got your hours on Saturday. I was like, what? Like, that didn't even make any sense at all, because my boss and I have a good relationship and we've always had conversations about this stuff. And I was just like, oh, well, clear. I knew instantly, like in that very moment, I knew that was my sign. It was like, oh, it's time to go. It's time to go. Let's just completely get out of here. Of course, my hackles raised just a little bit, and I was offended, and I was hurt, and I didn't feel valued. And so I had to like get off the phone and sit with that. But then I started to like sit with, I did. My boss actually called me, and we got it cleared up, and he apologized. But it still was like, okay, you know what? This is a gift. This is a gift for my world. This is a gift for my life. And I told my boss, let me sit with this. So I gave it 4 days, and I sat with it and sat with it and sat with it. And I was like, okay. I went through all the pluses and minuses of staying or leaving, and, just picking up a different day or not picking up a different day and all the stuff. Right. And it really, when I got down to it, I was like, I have been pushing so hard. And I actually said, when my personal business reaches a certain financial level and can sustain it, I'm going to leave my other jobs. Well, it's been sustaining it for like 6 months. So I'm like, okay, what is that about? Why haven't I left? Right. So it's just easy. It's easy to get so accustomed to the routine, so accustomed to the paycheck, so accustomed to just knowing what each day brings, right? Now I've been kicked out of the nest, literally. And that's what I told my boss. I called him back, and he said, let's have dinner. And then he begged me to stay, of course. And I was like, hey, I really appreciate you. You've just kicked me out of the nest. And this is exactly what I need so that I can step more fully into what it is I'm here to do. And of course, the astrology is holding space for that unfoldment for me as well as for you. Okay. Now, what I know is it wasn't my soul's calling to be working for those other doctors, because it was straight chiropractic. Now, I'm an okay chiropractor. Like, I know how to adjust bodies. I know how to adjust bodies pretty damn well. However, my soul's calling is so much bigger than that. Like, I really love helping people understand how to step into their greatness. And that's on every level, from a physical perspective, from a mental mindset perspective, from a nutritional perspective, from an alignment perspective, to something greater than themselves, right? This is my soul's calling. I love that. That turns me on, right? And I've got this program that's about to launch. I'm so excited. It's called Own Your Glow. It's launching this month. Keep your eyes open, ladies. It's an 8-week group coaching program. And you know what? If you're going to own your glow, you got to own your glow. And I wasn't glowing anymore since I've been, for the last, couple months or something. I've just been like frustrated and tired and overworked and not in a place of joy. Certainly not finding pleasure in my day-to-day activities. And this is what owning your glow is about. We'll talk more about that later as we get a little closer. But, if you're having trouble owning your glow and you need a little bit of support, definitely reach out to me. I'll put a link in the show notes, because you may really want this program. It's an 8-week group coaching program, and it's short-term. It's very inexpensive, and it will help you get clear on your vision. We're going to help you bust through and heal past emotional trauma and subconscious interference that's keeping you stuck in shame and guilt and all those crazy things. And then we're going to set in place some embodiment practices so that you can know how to navigate in your world in a new way. And then on the last couple of weeks, we'll just actually start putting in programs so that you can have sustainability in this new way of being in the world. Like, it's a really complete, awesome program, and I'd love to help you with that, because this is the time, right? This is the time. This is the time to just let go. Let go of your routine, I know how to navigate this in this way, although deep inside you've got this calling, this yearning for something so much greater. It's time to just let go into the unknown, because when you let go of what you know, you are letting go into the unknown. That's that floating in space kind of feeling, right? And there are certain things you can do, like put a grounding cord on, put your bubble around you. And we're going to go through, like I said, 5 different keys to really help you with your expansion as you move through this space, right? And when you let go into the unknown and to allow yourself to create something different, there's this gap. So you have this, I know what this is, I'm living this life and this timeline, and then I'm going to let go and literally fall into a different reality. Then there's this gap from letting go to this other place you want to be, right? And so what we want to do is we want to just imagine building a bridge. Like, I actually worked with this woman. I love her. Her name's Becky Strauss. She's a money coach, and she does spiritual money coaching. So she does spiritual healing work and moves things around in the spiritual grid, if you will. And she actually helped me build this bridge, and I'm going to describe it to you so you can see it, right? So I want you to imagine because you want to build your own, right? I want you to imagine where you are or where you're leaving. And I want you to imagine where you want to go. Like, what does that look like? What is it? Is it that you want to create a new program and you want to start offering something new to your clients? Is it that you want to start taking better care of yourself and improving your self-care? Is it that you want to show up differently in your relationship, and how does that look and feel, right? So get really, really clear on those two things. And you can imagine point A, where we start as a bubble, and point B as a different bubble, okay? And then I want you to imagine between those 2 points that you build a bridge, build a beautiful bridge. Like, I can totally see the bridge she built for me, and it's wooden, and it's got, it's arched a little bit from one to the other spot. And then it's got these rhinestones and crystals, and it's so blinged out and so beautiful that it's really fun to be on the bridge. And I feel solid, and I feel like it sustains me, sustainable, even right in the middle of the bridge, even though I'm not in either place, right? I'm still in the unknown, but I've got bedazzles all around me, okay? And as you get to know me a little bit better, you'll get to know that bedazzling things are kind of my thing. Like, I've got sparkles everywhere, apparently, because where my soul goes to rest is a very sparkly place, and I keep trying to recreate that in my real reality here. But so build yourself a bridge. Like, build yourself a bridge that feels really good, feels really solid, feels like it can support you, and it's wide open in such a way that it allows you to transverse that gap in a very comfortable and graceful way, right? Hey, this is a cause for pause. I want to take a moment to let you know about a brain-boosting chocolate-making workshop that I'm going to be offering here in my community. It's called Defeat Dementia, Alzheimer's, and Cognitive Decline. I've been spending a lot of time studying this aspect of my work and coming to really realize how important it is that we take control of our brain function now so that we can prevent things like dementia, Alzheimer's, and cognitive decline, among other brain problems, right? So we're gonna be making chocolate. Come make chocolate with us. Of course, if you want to come and you're not local, you will need to come and be local because this is an in-person workshop. It's $12 if you pre-register, and it's $15 at the door. This is going to be Saturday, February 1st on 2020. If you'd like to join, you're welcome to email me or reach out by calling 303-619-7766, and we'll get you all signed up. But we're going to be talking about the 4 types of Alzheimer's. We're going to talk about foods to improve brain function and prevent decline, how to balance your brain and nervous system, tests to evaluate your brain function and cognitive decline potential. Yes, I do specialized testing to know if we have genetic propensity towards things like Alzheimer's. And if you do, it's really good to know early on so you can do preventative care, right? Plus, of course, the most fun part is we're going to make brain-boosting chocolate. So you'll get recipes and tastings included. So I hope you join us again Saturday, February 1st, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., $12 pre-registration. Oh, yes, right? That feels really good. Nice. So what's your vision? You know, for me, my vision is working with women online, traveling and making time for more self-care and more playtime, being out in nature, enjoying life, like actually enjoying all the things I do. I've recognized now, looking back, that over the past several months, I've not been necessarily in the greatest joy throughout my days. And I feel like for us to really be empowered women, we have to be in a place of joy. We have to be exploring ourselves and allowing pleasure into our life through our activities that we do every day. And if that's not happening for you, definitely join the 8-week women's group coaching program, the Own Your Glow program, because that's what we're going to be focusing on. All right. Also, you want to think about your beliefs. Like, what are the beliefs around your ability to make this transition? Because beliefs do change matter. Okay. Consciousness creates. And this is scientifically, there's evidence of this on scientific realms now, okay, that beliefs and your thoughts change matter. So if you have a belief about your worthlessness, your inability, your lack of understanding, lack of letters behind your name, lack of whatever, if you have these negative false beliefs that you're holding on to as truth, then that's going to create a reality to you that reflects those beliefs. So it's really important for you to get clear on what those beliefs are and what you're consciously creating. And then if you're blocking the potential of your creation because of fear, then let that stuff go. And of course, I can help you with that, okay? But you've got to decide that you're going to let that stuff go, that you're no longer going to believe that. If you have to, like, get a Post-it note stack and on like Post-it note after Post-it note after Post-it note, write down the new belief, write down the new vision, write down whatever it is that causes you to remember what your vision is, and then post them everywhere. Put them in your car, put them on your mirror, in your bathroom, on your refrigerator, in your bed, on your lamp, on your desk, okay? On your computer. You can put it down as a background on your phone. Like, you got to just make that shit happen, okay? Stop making excuses. If you keep making excuses, you're just going to stay in the same place, and you're going to be being pushed into this other place, and you will feel resistance, and your life is going to feel like crap, okay? You're going to feel shitty, and you're not going to be happy, and you're going to want, I'm not happy. What's going on? Well, if you really ask what's going on, you will see. You will get the answer that you're not playing full out. All right. So it's time to play full out. All right. So here's the 5 keys to your expansion right here. Okay. The first thing is, as we talked about earlier, get clear on your vision and then rehearse your vision. Rehearse your vision like every single day. And I try to do it twice a day. I'm trying to get better about morning and night. But every single day, sit down with your vision. Imagine what it feels like to have that. Listen to your guidance. So I have like something I'm creating, and I was like focusing it on like, what does it feel to embody that? And I felt like there was I couldn't really feel total embodiment around it. I was like, what is that? And then I heard, well, it's not your path yet. I'm like, okay, this is a good idea. It's good to play with. It's kind of like a ball of clay, and I'm still kind of playing with it, but it's not time to do it yet. So I was like, oh, okay. Honestly, that was a little bit hard to hear because I thought that was my next step, but it's not. But the thing is, if we keep checking in, if we take the time to be still and to really align to this vision that we have, we will get the guidance we need to know which direction to go. Like, if that's not my path, then there's another path, and I'm going to just keep listening to that. And I have been listening to that. And this is where the Own Your Glow program has come from. This is where there's a free mini course that's going to be released at the end of the month. I'm so excited that you'll get to just like get videos of 3 videos of me that'll help you in that arena of owning your glow, because owning your glow is fantastic. And so things came from that, right? But you got to be still. You got to rehearse your vision. You got to install the software so that you can manifest it. Your brain is like a computer, and you can reprogram it, but you have to reprogram it. You can't, if you want something different, right? You can't expect something different with the old programs. It doesn't work like that. All right. The second thing is look for messages. So for instance, the bridge, we just put a bridge in place. That's a message, right? That's a message for you to transverse from one place to another. That's an opening. I just set that in place for you so that you have an opening and you have a pathway to feel like you can. All right. And to, if you decide to take your steps to get to your new place. All right. And so other messages that I often find in my reality are from nature. The other day I was, I was driving through the canyon. I was going down out of the mountains, and actually I was going to work. This was before all this happened. And I'm, talking, I have a little altar in my car and I talk to my spirits and guides and everybody, and just have a little prayer session in my car, usually when I'm driving down. And I was just like, gosh, what am I going to do? I'm really ready to step into this new place in my life. And I feel like that change is coming, and I'm scared and all this stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, out in front of my car are 4 beautiful, huge deer, and they were all does, and they crossed my path. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Now I live in the mountains, and I see a bit of nature like that, but it doesn't happen every day. So when it does happen, I'm like, oh, that's a sign, especially when it's in the middle of a prayer, okay? And as they passed my car over the road, and of course I stopped for them, and I just watched them with my eyes, and I turned my head to the left as they got to the other side, and one of those deer turned around, and she literally like looked me straight in the eye. She was like downloading a message to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to look this up. What is deer? What is deer? And I look up deer totem and deer spirit and all the stuff, right? And I get that. And this was actually after Becky, my spiritual guide, my money coach, built that bridge for me. That was right after that, actually. And I turned around and I was like, okay, what is this? And basically it was like, you're going to traverse this gap with such grace and ease, and it's going to be so fast. I mean, think about how a deer moves, right? It's like, oh, I need to get from point A to point B, and they just hop right over it. And it's so graceful and light. And there was way more to it, but I like really enjoyed that moment of, an answer to my prayer, right? That was an answer to my prayer right there. And then another time I was same exact thing. I was driving down the canyon and saying my little prayers and asking for guidance. And then this huge, it might have been a vulture. It was some kind, I couldn't see if it was a hawk or a vulture. I don't know. It was some kind of big predatory bird. And it just like swooped right over me. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So I'm soaring, I'm flying, I'm keeping my eyes open. I go after what I need and, stay humble through the process, right? So there's all these kinds of things, right? I mean, who knows? Maybe it comes in a word or two from another person. I will tell you, I mean, often a patient will say something to me and I'm like, wow, that is spirit speaking to me. Right through my patient. They're here for me to help them, and they're helping me just the same. And it's really such a great blessing to have my patients just speak to me and know that that's spirit speaking to me. And so listen to what people are saying around you. Maybe your kids even say something to you and you're like, whoa, how did they know that? Well, it's because spirit's speaking through them, right? Yeah. All right, so you've rehearsed your vision, you've installed the new hardware, you're looking for messages. Let's see, what's the third one? Notice your thoughts. Yeah, notice your thoughts, your words, your self-talk, right? Are they negative? Are they holding you back? Are they what you prefer to be thinking? I know the past couple of months when I was getting really stressed out, I tended to be very anxious and I tended to be volatile, like very easily lose my temper. And I don't have a real big temper. I can, and I have when I was a kid, but to have that arise again for me, I was just like, why am I so angry right now? This doesn't even make sense. And, if I dug a little deeper, I could have seen it, but it wasn't time, I didn't see it. And I was like, well, I'll just need to eat better or get better sleep or, whatever it was. But, there's commonly an underlying thread of something on a spiritual level that needs to be, worked out or looked at or healed. Right. And so, so that's what I did. And then, so then we've got our changing our thoughts. So we're rehearsing our vision, we're looking for the messages, we're changing our thoughts, and then we're going to open our heart to what is. Open your heart to what is. Whatever is in front of you, open your heart to it really, really wide. You may not like where you're at, but open your heart to it. And you may not like what's happening. Like when I got boot on Saturday by that doctor or by my boss, I was like, what? I was not happy. My heart was not open. But I did take the next 4 days to go, okay, I know that this is a message from spirit and this is in my highest interest. And I want to really listen so intently. And I want to be so grateful for what's happening right now. So I'm grateful for the other doctor. I'm grateful for my boss. I'm grateful for all of the whole experience. Like it just unfolded so beautiful. And all the people that I got to talk to them about this process for me, because this is a big deal, when you just let go of all your paychecks, except for the ones you're making on your own. It's kind of a hard thing to do, but oh my God, so much freedom. I can't believe how happy I am that I've made these decisions. I'm just happy. And I forgot what it felt like to be happy. And I want that same feeling for you. So open your heart to what it is. Whatever it is in front of you, just open your heart and love it so much. And also love your vision wherever you're going. Love it up so much that all the negativity, all the false beliefs don't have any like you can't even hear them because you're loving it up so much. You're loving up what is, the people in front of you, all your relationships, your work, what you came here to do, your vision, where you're going. You just love it up. Love it up. And then lastly, give thanks. Give thanks for all of it. Give the deepest, sincerest gratitude and thanks for everything that you're experiencing right now and all the guidance that you're getting to move into your next step. And then practice. I guess that's 6 steps. Practice is what it takes, right? I mean, we have to keep coming back to it and keep coming back to it and keep coming back to it. And we have to set up ourselves and set up our lives so that we can keep coming back to it. If you're running all over the place and working 6 days a week and not taking time outs for yourself and not finding pleasure moments in your life and making yourself a priority, then you are not going to figure this shit out. Okay. You have to make yourself a priority is like the number one thing. You are why you're here. And then when you fill yourself up and you're on fire in your life and you're owning your glow in the brightest way possible, then you can show up for all the people in your life. So I'm going to leave you with that. Mwah. I hope this was very inspirational for you. I'm very excited to be here. I look forward to more of this year and where it's all going to go. Please feel free to reach out to me and share with me how life is changing for you, because these are the important things. Like if you want, jump on our Facebook page. I mean, you can get on our private Facebook group, Turn Your Soul On at Facebook group, and join in and let us know, how is 2020 changing your life and how are you deciding to show up for yourself in a grander way. Much love to you, ladies. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Biohack for Women. If you'd like to dive deeper with our tribe, join us on Facebook or Instagram. And if you'd like to help grow our tribe, share this episode with your friends. Let's bring this light to our community so that other women can know their true power and we can create a tribe together worth being in.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.